Now, let's explore a really interesting field, everybody. For Islamic Studies seminar, let's give a big welcome to Imam Adam Kantar, who studied Islamic Studies at Marmara University, specializing in Fiqh al-Islami. He is a senior Imam at Rimi Mosque, North London, and also serves as a chaplain in prisons and hospitals. Welcome, Imam Adam.
Selamünaleyküm. Beni duyabiliyor musunuz?
Yes.
Do I need to make this presentation in English or Turkish?
English, please, Imam Adam.
English. Although I was not told that I need to prepare in English, I'll try my best to be. What? Okay. So, sorry about this.
No problem.
Sorry about that. Okay. Now you can see me and you can hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Guys, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning to all. Within 15 minutes, I will try to make a presentation about the opportunities of Islamic studies, and if one studies in this field, what job opportunities or career is waiting for them or available for them. This is what I like to share with you today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me opportunities to make in the best manner, and may He also grant you the best of understanding. Islamic studies is a very, I would say, well-known department in UCAS universities. Among them are SOAS, School of African Studies in University of London, and also Oxford Center for Islamic Studies as a part of Oxford University program. And also Cambridge also is very well known university in this field. Those people who like to study in this field can make sure these are the most reputable, most renowned universities that one can attain a really good career. If you study in this program, the Cambridge University, University of Edinburgh, University of London, and also a couple of other private organizations is providing these studies, is qualifications. And there are also very well-known scholars like Professor Abdul Hakim Murad, also known as Timothy Vinta. He's a revered professor in Islamic studies. He is lecturing in University of Cambridge, and he's a professor also. He's the chair of the Islamic studies at the Faculty of Divinity in Cambridge. There are also very reputable and internationally well-known scholars and professors like Jonathan Brown, and he's normally teaching in SOAS, and also Dr. Ingrid Madsen. He has been teaching in various UK universities. Dr. Farid Isak also is another figure that we need to bear in mind. Professor Yasir Qadi is also very well-known scholar, both in the academic field and also social media. He's got lots of lectures, seminars available on YouTube. And Dr. Tamara Son, also another person worth mentioning, the scholar Dr. Khalid Abu Fadl. Uh, Before going these people, you will hear from me, and most probably you will forget soon. Why do I need to mention? These are the people who studied in this field, and they put their best of their effort, and they gave the best of understanding of Islamic thought. This is a philosophical framework to give people about about the question, what is the essentials of Islamic thought, and for further studies. But also these are also giving opportunities for one to carry on to progress in the Islamic field. As an imam, in UK mosques, B, as a scholar in academic field in various universities, both in UK and also outside of UK, and also religious leaders or spiritual leaders in various settings. For example, you have more than 2,000 mosques in United Kingdom. No one can be appointed as an imam or as a CEO or as a mosque, I would say, manager without this, qualification. Because when you are in the field, you have to be, well trained, well educated, and you have to attain these qualifications for one to be occupying these spaces. And also uh, for like any other field, uh, the qualification is only giving you a recognition for you to be in the field, but for the further recognition, for the further advancement in the field, it's definitely lie down in your personal effort, how you are good at presenting yourselves, your skills, your abilities, and also can you also good at on social media, or something that you offer is only available in the academic field, which is available to just a few, just a very limited, I would say, portion of the community. But if you can also promote what you do on the social studies, so it will give you even broader recognition and the reputation. In that sense, these faculties are very, very well known, internationally acceptable, and also enjoyable. B, for the further enhancement, for the further, I would say, recognition, your personal skills, of course, plays a very significant role. And for one to be accepted in this field, you have to have a good A levels and GCSEs. If you ask me which GCSEs or A levels can help one to be accepted in this field, you have to have I would say not you have to, but Islamic religious studies, history, philosophy, sociology, psychology are the good modules for one to have good results in GCSEs and A levels, for them to be accepted. Of course, again, in the interview you have to, I would say, you have to represent your skills, personal skills, and why do you like to do? What's your ambition? What would you like to do with this career in the future? These are also plays a significant role for one. In Islamic studies, another field we have to mention is chaplaincy. You, as a chaplain, you can be either trained as a Muslim chaplain or as a generic chaplain, and you can work in the hospital settings, in prisons, in universities, and also in corporate business, in corporate setting, like even in some companies, people now are hiring chaplains. If you ask me what chaplain do, what chaplain does is simply emotional support for one can provide to the people who suffer from. For example, in a hospital setting, you are sick, you are suffering from a terminal diseases or sicknesses, and you feel yourself desperate and you have no one to lean on. The doctors and nurses are there to give you your medication to help you for your well-being. However, your well-being, your I would say emotional well-being is something can be neglected. So the function of the chaplain in a hospital setting is to visit those patients who has been away from their loved ones, and they're feeling lots of they're having lots of questions if they are going to get well, if they are going to get recovered, and chaplain approach them and give them emotional support. If it is, possible to get closer with a very nice and soft, tone, to ask them how they are, how they feel, and then after a while, don't worry, you will get better. What happens to you definitely make you even stronger. You will come out of this even stronger and maturer, and kind of, wording which can, make them feel. And time to time, they may ask you to give you one copy of Quran, one copy of, I would say, Islamic book, and they can read and help them to feel better. In a prison setting, you're a prisoner serving in the prison for some reason, and you are away from loved ones, and you feel lots of regret, and you feel you have lots of questions. Why did I do that? Or I shouldn't have done that. And then chaplain approach you and ask you how you feel, if there anything that they can help you, and they give you emotional support, one to one, or in a I would say halaka setting. Halaka setting, what we say in our Turkish culture, sohbet setting, like 5, 10 prisoners get together, and the chaplain giving them some speeches, some lectures, which can help them not only feeling better, but also religiously, developing themselves or progressing themselves into a better well-being. And in business setting, companies hiring these chaplains to give emotional support to their employees, for them to, I would say, improve their professional skills. Because if you are in a emotional unrest, it is highly unlikely you will do your best to produce a better job, better, I would say, professional skills. That's why it is also a very significant matter. In the universities, chaplains are helping students. You are coming from Saudi, you are coming from Yemen, or you are British person, but you now studying in a different city other than the city where your loved ones are. And what they do, they give you again emotional support. Maybe you don't eat the good food you're craving for, and different friends, different environment, different culture, different food, different everything. So this kind of differences giving you kind of unrest and some emotional turmoil. So chaplain approach individuals one to one or in a group setting, and they are given their, I would say, emotional support for one to feel better, and also, of course, to be successful in their educational journey. So these are the fields, if you are interested in Islamic studies, from a more, I would say, subjective and from a more emotional point of view. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there should be always a group of people or some individuals who enjoins what is right and who forbids what is wrong, and those people will guide people rightly. So this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran asks from us. And it's a clear indication some people should dedicate themselves as a believer who believe in hereafter. This life is very short, and we are going to live in a infinitive life, and we will stay there forever. That's why we have to, I would say, sacrifice our lives in this world, and we have to sacrifice ourselves for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for others. And that's why, and the imam job, or the Muslim scholar job, or the chaplain's job in this setting, in this sense, it has been playing a very significant role to guide communities for the betterment, for the love of Allah, for the connection with Allah, for the lines on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for them to devote themselves, for them to live their life in a more meaningful manner, in a more, I would say, legitimate manner. In that sense, being an imam maybe will not bring you a big amount of salary, but it is not less than 40,000, I would say, annually, of course. For chaplains, if you are a senior chaplain, you can get from 50,000 to 70,000, and you have all, I would say, official, the holidays, paid official holidays. You have at least 28 days paid holiday, and all the bank holidays, and you have on top of that 7 paid retreat days. You are secluding yourself, getting away from the, away, and you just, switch off and rectify your spirituality and your well-being. So in that sense, it's quite reputable, very well paid jobs, relatively, of course. But it is not a job to pay, to do for the money. If I have to be, honest with you, it is not a job that you can do for money, but it is a job, a career that one, I would say, dedicate himself and his position for the betterment, for the well-being of the entire community. Yes, that's all from me. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Imam Adam. We do have a few questions that came through.
Okay,
Our first question is there a high demand for chaplains in the UK?
that's really good question. Thank you. Uh, I tried a couple of part-time positions in some hospitals and prisons because they are allowing you to work 16 hours, for example, and you can do this in just in 2 days. You don't need to go throughout the week, all the weekdays. So I thought, I can do this in a hospital setting or in a prison setting, and I can continue my career in my Islamic post in Rumi Mosque. As you know, I am the senior Imam of Rumi Mosque since 2016, and I seen that for a one person, for a vacation, there were maybe 5 to 10 people applying. But it is very understandable. It is not that competitive comparing to the other field. However, and the only obstacle, a group of Muslims called Deobandis, who are graduated from Alimiya courses, Islamic seminars, that aka Islamic seminars, seminaries, Islamic seminaries. They are the graduate of these private Islamic seminaries. They can be very, I would say, competitive in this field because many of the current serving chaplains are from their Wandi background, and it is very understandable if they like to provide or offer these opportunities to their like-minded, I would say, the schoolmates or classmates, whatever. And unfortunately there is little bit injustice over there. However, I cannot generalize this to any positions. There are very, very lovely well-paid job opportunities in the field, and if you are, I would say, a well-educated, I would say, trained person, you can be a very strong candidate for such vacations.
Thank you very much. We have our last 2 minutes. We can fit
Yep,
in one more question, I think.
yep.
Are there any qualifications necessary to become a chaplain, or is studying Islamic studies enough?
That's really good question. I made my chaplaincy qualification in Markfield Institute of Higher Education. In Markfield, it is somewhere located between Loughborough and Leicester, roughly 1.5 hours away from here. It is 10 months course, Islamic Muslim chaplaincy course. Yes, indeed. There are some, barriers in the sense that you have to, challenge, that you have to cope with. But once you are qualified, highly likely you will get one position sooner or later. However, there are some traditional, I would say, chaplains who are trained just as an imam, and yet they have no qualification in chaplaincy, and they manage to find a, I would say, vacation or job opportunity. And especially in the past, they were not, I would say, considering whether or not you are trained as a Muslim chaplain, but if you are qualified in Islamic studies and you have a good, I would say, interrelation skills, so you are good at communicating with people, dealing with people, you are a good human being, open-minded and outspoken and chatty and verbal, then people can pick you. But even if you are a scholar, if you are not good at speaking, human relationships, then highly likely the one can be preferred over somebody else. In that sense, nowadays chaplaincy has been preferred through the qualifications, but in the past, if you are trained in a, I would say, madrasa setting or in a Islamic seminary setting, it would be enough. But it is changing. It is changing day by day.
Thank you very much, Imam Adam. That's officially our time over. Thank you for your time.
I hope it has been informative and emotional for one. And I do strongly advise those people who are thinking it is really amazing, admirable position to dedicate what you want to the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to lead people, to guide people, in their spiritual journey. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give success one who thinks seriously. Thank you.
Thank you.